He's like, yeah, well, look what I got. And he, like, opens the trunk to his Ford Escort. And there's, like, a box of several things. He's like, I got a pocket pussy. Like, he was telling me a secret. Like, I got a pocket pussy. And I was like, he's like, it's right there. And I pick it up. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, why is this all wet? Oh, my and he's
God.
like, well, because I used it, you idiot.
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
It's been a little while. This is we're back. We're back. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 20 of Grown Up Human Comic People. We have returned. No fear. How's everybody doing today? Good.
Quite well.
Good.
Yep.
All right.
Fine.
Doing very well.
Yeah, we'll go around the table. Say everybody's name. Chris.
Hello.
Dan.
Hello.
Becky.
Hi.
Jer.
Hey.
Greg.
Hello.
Dan. Neil.
Howdy.
I'm Jared. We are the humans. Welcome to the show. You can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud at Grown Up Human Comic People, and Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Grown Up Humans. And those are all our social things. It's good to be back, I think. It's been a while, so we're all here too. It's
Yeah.
been a
The
while
gang's
since-
all here.
The gang's all here.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah,
And we have special guests.
and we have a quick little. We're going to be appearing at. You know what? Why don't we just you want to swing the microphone over to?
Yeah.
Get ready.
Swing it over to Brian. Yeah, we got Brian and Colt here for Pittsburgh Retro Gaming. Guys, say hello to each other. Gentlemen, tell us about your upcoming event.
Hey, first, thanks for having us back.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Much more sober this time. At least we are. For now. Well, yeah. But yeah, we have another event coming up, Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Con. And it's going to be
Get a little tighter.
bigger than anything that we've done so far. I feel like we say that all the time, but
We just keep growing.
yeah. Yeah. It's a joke, though. Yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, so it's going to be on March 25th this year from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Ace Hotel in Shadyside, which is
Which used to be called East Liberty.
I was
when black people lived
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
See, now it's Shadyside.
It's the East Liberty.
See, I thought it was East Liberty, but everybody keeps saying Shadyside. I'm
No,
like, that looks an
it's
awful lot geographically like Shadyside.
No,
Yeah,
the
no.
parts of East Liberty where black
like-
people still live are still East Liberty.
Right.
If it's white people,
Exactly.
then it's now Shady.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You're like, it's BRGR's in Shady Side now.
Yeah.
No, fuck you, it's
right.
not. That's East Liberty.
There's a
Across from
Target.
the East Liberty
There's a
Presbyterian
Target
Church.
now.
Oh, that pisses me off so
Yeah,
much.
they can fuck right off with all that nonsense.
Shadyside.
That's not Shady Side.
It's not East Shadyside.
Shady Side is we go across that bridge there. That's Shady Side.
It's East Liberty.
Yeah, on the other side of the bridge, it's fucking East Liberty.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you. So, yeah, we're going to be at the Ace Hotel. If you've ever been to any of our events in the past, it's going to have all the same elements as that. We're going to have vendors, but all the stuff that we love to do with our events too. We're going to have gaming contests. People are going to be able to win stuff.
We're going to have indie developers there showing off sweet new games as well.
Yes.
Nice.
So that'll be pretty cool. You can check out like new stuff that's coming out.
Nice.
Are you guys going to have the Black Forge people? The people who did the Black Forge video
They're going to
game?
be there, but they're not going to be able to sell anything, unfortunately, because there's a conflict of interest with the hotel.
Oh, good lord.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So they're going to be
Like
there.
the
like,
Black Forge video game developers?
That's who we're working with for the event is the Mega Cat Studios.
This is the
we're
first time we're partnered with
Yeah,
them.
we're partnering up with them to create like a bigger event this time instead of just doing it on our own.
I didn't
So
realize
it's like
that was
it's
the
like a
people who
joint
did the-
effort this time. It's not just me and Brian and the other guys at PRG. It's us plus Mega Cat Studios who did the other retro gaming event before. We're kind of teaming up and just kind of going balls to the wall and making a bigger, more badass event.
Oh, cool. Whenever I talk to Brian for some... Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought that the group you guys were partnering with was a national group. But this group is based out of Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. So Mega,
All right.
we were kind of doing the same thing, different ways.
Yeah.
And Pittsburgh's such a crowded city for anything nerd culture now. It's like, we sat down after our last event, PRGX, and after theirs, which is Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Con, and decided that it made more sense that we joined forces and tried to do something, as a concerted effort. Otherwise, we were just going to get lost in the shuffle. And that's what this is. This is the first time experimenting with that partnership and trying to do something a lot bigger and a lot cooler, but still, keeping those fundamental aspects that everybody likes about the events we've done so far.
Nice.
Well, that's cool. So are they going to have their games on to play though? Are they going to have the Black Forge game? And
But I thought they said so you can sell coffee. They can't sell coffee.
They can't
Crisis.
sell coffee that you can drink right there, but they'll have a table set up with
Okay, I
their
was confused.
shirts and their coffee if you want to buy it ground up or not.
I misunderstood. I thought you meant that. So the Coffee Crisis, the video game that's based on Black Forge. I thought you said there was some conflict.
No.
Of interest.
As
I'm
far
how
as
is there a
Black
conflict
Forge,
of interest with the
their
video
coffee.
Game? It's their it's the food. The consumer.
Yes.
I get it.
Because
Okay.
the hotel has their own,
Definitely
food
pick up a
and
copy
beverages.
of Coffee Crisis though. It's a fun game.
I just got an email there because my band Grey Walker was the music, a lot of the music
Yeah.
for the game. So they're actually sending us 6 copies of the game and 10 copies of the vinyl because they actually
Yeah.
printed it on vinyl, which
That's
would be
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that'll be there. That'll be there.
We got a shout out to Gray Walker, and Sykes was on the other day.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess transition, Sykes and you guys are going to be at the event as well.
Right. Yeah. He asked us if we wanted to do a podcast type thing at the event. So as many of us that can show up, we'll be there, and so come out and hang out. Oh, we might. I guess can we sell things there too? I guess.
Let's see why not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure, why
yeah.
not?
You guys are going to have you're going to have booth space,
Okay.
and you can use that however you see fit.
Yeah, because Becky got these wonderful
Whiskey glasses.
whiskey glasses.
I see it's got your name
which
on
you
there
can
and
find.
everything.
Yeah, we can find. Yeah, I didn't do any of the plugs. I haven't done this in a while.
Well, I
totally forgot.
We could
I
get
could talk
into
about
that
it if
after
you
the.
Right.
Yeah, you're doing that first.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it later.
Yeah, so you can get. Yeah, anyway, we'll have those. We'll be there. It'll be fun.
Yeah, so you're going to do like a live podcast thing.
Yeah. So if
Joint
you
thing.
want to come and talk to us, you can come and we'll get kind of drunk and hang out with everybody who's there.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
I don't know if we're. I mean, yeah, we can get drunk since the Ace
Absolutely.
Hotel's bar. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Ace Hotel. And it's East Liberty, so you can get raving drunk as opposed to like a proper drunk.
Right.
Man, I'm riding my bicycle down there. Right, what are the laws on driving a bicycle drunk?
I don't know.
You can.
the case for all the cops in that zone.
No, you can definitely get a DUI drunk driving.
You can,
a bicycle.
yeah.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle.
What about if you ride on the sidewalk?
Yeah, you can. I'm playing coy.
He just wants to see how far you'll go with it.
Right.
What about a
Not
tricycle?
that I've ever seen it done before.
You never given out a ticket for a drunk bicyclist?
I never have.
Okay.
But when you almost swerve into the front of a large marked vehicle multiple times on Butler Street, something's going to happen.
I just see that happen a lot, though.
I remember a story where a friend of mine got really drunk and tried to tackle a police car. Well, he's not a friend; he's an acquaintance, and we spent a lot of time
Distance
together
yourself.
for a period.
How did that work out? Probably
He
not
went
well.
to jail. He went to jail for like 3 days. Like, they kept him in there for a few days. I
What
think.
what happened to the police car?
It was fucking total.
Yeah.
It was just smithereens. That 150 pounds. I mean, they never saw that coming. It was. Yeah.
Just the right angle.
Yeah, just the right angle. They need new,
Spit maneuver the shit out of it.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm drunk. It's fucking 2:00 in the afternoon.
Good. Perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
real
Jesus
quick, do you
Christ.
want to just finish up with?
Yeah,
the,
we'll give you the rest of our information. We won't want to stifle your flair. So
Stifle like a flare.
stifle away.
I'm gonna write that
I
down.
stifle flair
Hashtag
professionally. I don't
stifle
want to do
our
it all the
Stifle my
time.
flare.
You know, we used to tell people they are high risk maneuvers. You know, you don't want to do it all the time. But yeah. So, like you said, we'll be at the Ace Hotel. You can find our tickets if you go to PittsburghRetroGaming.com. There's a website, and at the top of the website, you can find vendor information if there's still vendor space available, which there may be. If not, there's always the wait list, and then there's also going to be a link for tickets. In addition to that, we have 2 different price sets for the tickets. We have an early bird, and we have a general admission. Early bird is going to get you into the event an hour early.
So you can get all the games, the cool games, before
Right.
everybody else gets there.
For all the sniper collectors out there, that's the way to go because
So
you get
Mario
your
was
first
missing
cracks.
is mine.
Yeah, right.
worst
Get in
game
there
ever
early
made.
and get a hold of it.
Thank you.
It is.
In addition to getting in early, one thing we've always done, and we're continuing to do at this event, is we try to come up with some really kick-ass prize support, and where there's no extra cost. If you buy your ticket online, you're going to be eligible to win something, and if you buy the early bird ticket, you're going to get access to an opportunity to win all the prizes. And let's see, what do we got this year? We've got a complete in box Nintendo 64. Complete in box Sega Genesis, a loose Jungle Green Nintendo 64, which I see you sitting
we
over
have
there.
one of those, yeah, right
which,
over
we wish it was complete in box, but even loose, they're pretty
still cool.
sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very sought after. We're going to be doing a PlayStation 1 bundle. We've never done a PlayStation 1 before, and it's going to be bundled with all the Final Fantasy games that came out for the PlayStation 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and
Six, right?
that's it for right now that we want to announce. That's what we've got lined up. So if you buy a ticket online, if you buy the early bird, you have a chance to win all of that.
You get a
it's
raffle
not
ticket.
right. And it's not one and done. It's you could win them all.
Right.
And we've had people who've walked out with like 3 or 4 of the prizes. Yeah. So I mean, it's very possible.
Nice.
And
So, yeah.
Your last event sold out, right? They were like you couldn't get tickets after a while.
It was packed. So the last event we had was at the Elks Lodge in Northside, and they were really awesome. They worked with us. They gave us they gave people great prices on drinks and food, and I think they underestimated us because we ate and drank them out of house and home. And so, I mean, as far as like people go, we had enough people there to not take the cupboards bare.
Nice.
And
Good.
so very good turnout, and I think this time's going to be even bigger.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, that's good because I'm a member. I'm a brother of the benevolent and protective order of the Elks, local. That one. I'm happy to hear you guys drank them out of house and home because they needed that injection of $300.
I know, they really do.
I don't know why.
Seriously, like their drinks are so cheap. Like you could buy the bar out for under $1,000.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
you can.
You could fucking
Have you guys ever gone to any of the Sokol halls in Pittsburgh? It's
yeah.
like 50-cent drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
how
I
my
mean,
cousin
there were
Garrett
no
gets-
complaints. There was not a red glowy face that wasn't happy in the house. I mean, everybody was thrilled.
That's awesome.
So
I feel like everything I'm involved with involves drinking people out of house and home.
And I'm sorry, could you repeat the date
accurate.
again? Just
March 25th. Yeah.
awesome.
March 25th.
Okay.
What's the official title of the event?
Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Convention.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if since you appeared with the other thing, if the title was different.
Yep. No, we just went Pittsburgh Retro Gaming Convention.
Cool.
Hey.
Or con for short.
Yeah, or con.
But it's
whatever.
convention.
Con sounds cooler.
I've heard that term used before. Con.
Imagine that. Bunch of comic book people.
All right, cool. Yeah,
I think that's it for us, anyways.
Yeah.
You guys want to plug your other shit too, like your band? And,
Oh, I will say, coming up, I don't know when this podcast is coming out, but March 15th, we're going to be setting up. There's a show with Bit Brigade, and they're going to be playing Mega Man 2 live, and the band plays.
That's awesome.
While they play
Yes.
it, and so they do everything. Like if he dies, they react to it, and like, then they go back into it. So it's going to be that, and then we're taking a bunch of TVs and consoles to set up for people to play while the bands are playing and whatnot.
So again, you'll be able to get shit faced and play video games.
Yeah.
And
Again.
we're real enablers.
Yeah, but enablers are really cool things.
When you walk in the door, you should have to hand your chip over.
So you have
Come on, you're not going to stay clean today. You're not.
So you have to for that you'd have to have somebody who's like at least decently good at Mega Man 2. You couldn't. Just
Oh, they have a
anybody.
speed run guy that plays. Like
Yeah, he's
he
part of
tours
the
with them.
group.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
that's
they
awesome.
set up and they have a big screen behind him.
Nice.
And he just goes through and crushes everything while they play along to all the levels, and it's awesome.
I'd love to see that.
And Danimal Cannon's going to be there, and he has a Game Boy, and he programs all of his music on a Game Boy,
Yeah.
and then plays guitar over top of it, and it's incredible. He's like Satriani, like just
that's-
so good.
That's fucking awesome.
I just love
and
those.
Dethlehem's going to be there.
Those conversations at parties must be cool. I'm in a band. Oh yeah, what do you play? Mega Man.
Listen, if you ever listen, I got told Jared, Monkey and I are really into a band called Starbomb, and all they do is like Nintendo parodies. That's all they do, and it's really funny. So, but yeah, They have a song about Mega Man too.
I would be satisfied with just them playing Bubble Man over and over again.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the best song in that game for sure. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Pittsburgh Retro Gaming. Check out that. I already forgot. I'm a little drunk.
PittsburghRetroGaming.com.
No, I'm the other thing.
The Bit Brigade show,
Bit Brigade
March
show.
15th, and then 10 days later, 25th is the convention.
Cool.
I can link to both of those events on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll do
You
that.
guys
And
will not
whenever
miss
this-
out.
Yeah, and our
And we'll link you too.
Yeah, right. And our Facebook, just in case people are on Facebook and they're looking for us, is going to be Facebook /PittsburghRetroGaming.com.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah.
We'll be at that thing.
I would hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be an empty table.
Yeah.
I'm going to be MFing you. Like, I could have sold this table.
And we'll be there with our T-shirts and whiskey glasses.
Cool. Yeah.
To sell.
Yeah. Speaking of those things are also available at Southside Comics.
Yes, it's 1931 East Carson Street. All the books we talk about, you can pick them up at the store or even on the interweb. Fully serviceable website. SouthsideComicsPGA.com. Thanks.
And most comic book stores don't offer that service, don't they?
No. You can even subscribe, manage your pull list online. You can have it mailed to you, or you can just select in-store pickup and come on in, and it'll be ready for you. You can grab it and be right out the door. So,
Yes. Suck it, Comic Cartel.
Yeah.
yeah, we're trying to push them out.
Yeah.
I mean, they got the boxes, but
That's all they have is
their
the boxes.
website sucks.
Well, you know what? Like
It's slow.
they have good, decent like customer service. I have to say, they respond pretty quickly to messages and stuff.
That's good.
They do, but oftentimes I found that their messages are, you're going to be waiting 8 months for your box. Is it that hard to make a cardboard box?
Well, yeah, those boxes were really popular.
Yeah.
What are they? .eu or
.io.
something? IO. Like it's
Yeah.
super slow.
It is really slow.
Like,
What does IO even stand for?
It's like a weird.
That's not a country code.
It's a country
Is it a
code.
country
Yeah,
code?
I think.
yeah, I think it is an
It's
overseas code.
It's not Virgin Islands. It's like it's an island. I think maybe. It's really weird. It's
Are they
so
based out of
weird.
the States?
yeah.
Yes, but for whatever reason their website code is not.
Man, that's some like shady processor shit.
Yeah,
They
well,
have, like, all
taxes.
their like credit card
They're-
processing
Wait.
out of like the Virgin
Their
Islands.
website-
Guess what it is?
Their
it's not an
website's
island.
a
It's-
pay-for-website.
Sorry. The entities connected with the British Indian Ocean territories.
Yes.
It's not even a place.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Those
Jesus
islands. That's
Christ.
where all the shady processors.
Yeah, I
are.
don't know.
Some
I mean,
pirate radio shit.
Like,
It's no joke.
if you-
fucking run credit card, they'll run credit cards
Oh,
for
yeah.
everything there.
That's
It's
where
like, good
Donald
luck getting your
Trump
money
keeps
back.
his
Charge
tanning
back,
money.
Fuck you. Like,
I mean, if that was like the only option to get the name you wanted, pick a different name.
Yeah, really.
yeah.
You know, like, but whatever.
Like
I mean,
there's a
I bought comics from them, so I'm not gonna. I don't know.
It might redirect to that website.
Maybe.
Usually there's
You know,
squatters.
there's a
Yeah.
squatter. There's a
Like-
squatter for Southside Comics.
Oh yeah, what's going on with that? Remember?
But yeah, he won't sell it to us, but he redirects to us now.
Well, that's at least a start.
Right. So whatever. You know,
Well, that's
but-
nice.
So
yeah.
he just
That's
pays for
cool.
this domain and
Yeah,
like
he-
pays for
It's
it to,
really
like, keep this
common.
up just so that he can like redirect to you.
Well, he used to redirect to like the NSA or something. Like, it was very strange.
It's really, really
That's
common.
really funny.
But now he redirects to us. At least
That'd
he
be
did
funny.
like a few weeks ago.
SouthsideComics.com redirected to like the support Trump campaign, like his donation site that's still
yeah.
active.
He's just trying to ruin your reputation.
Yeah, like,
But no, that's
almighty.
really, really common. Like people, it's the same people, like the assholes who go to a concert in the first like 10 minutes and buy all the tickets.
Yeah.
People will just buy, if they hear something's getting popular, it doesn't matter what it is, they will buy any domain name they can think of for
Squat.
and then when people are looking to make a big website on
Yeah.
that, subject, they can charge that person thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
No, yeah, I mean that's like a real thing.
It's horrible.
So you squatters out there, just keep your ear to the ground for next time like Midnight Rose tickets are going on sale. You can buy all those, and then just
Good man.
we'll give you a yeah. That's it.
Stop, please.
Dan is so. For those of you who are, I'll post this picture on the Instagram. For those of you who are not seeing this, Dan has one of those weird like
It's a tens unit.
tens units. It's tensing up his muscles on his arms, and he's just twitching.
Yeah. Tell me, I have chronic medial epicondylitis in both arms. Man, this thing feels great.
It looks so weird.
it does
Yeah.
look weird.
It feels weird too.
No,
I
it
had
doesn't.
it
It
on
feels
earlier.
great. It feels great.
I agree with you there. It feels
Yeah.
great. I've never used it on my arms, just my back and shoulders.
I
And
might
my
put it on
ass.
my butt. Yeah.
I like honestly. There's room for. I could have 8 of these little things on me, And after we were talking about the butt, I got 4 open in 2 cheeks. So,
Is that similar
glute gets
to the?
tight.
yeah.
Is it similar to that machine that? Remember, it was they sold it. It was like late
Yes,
night.
and I bought it for
the
your
ab
abs.
thing. The ab thing, yeah.
And I was a fucking chubby 8th grader.
But didn't they catch on fire and they had to?
Nope, but I put it on and it burned the shit out of me. Like, because you had to put it was essentially like sex lube, right? So that the current would get through. The thing they don't tell you is the electricity, like the pulse has to be strong enough to get through the fat into the muscle to activate the muscle, right? So when you're like a chubby 7th grader who's like 40% body fat and you put that thing on your belly, it just feels like bees are stinging your fat. It hurts so bad. Man, I kept at it though. Like I just really wanted abs and I thought this is the way to do it. Man, I had my abs were fucked. I didn't have abs. My fat was fucked. Like I just had like a red belly. But yes, I just talked about that recently.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Same concept, but I'm assuming safer.
Yeah, I think better technology.
Oh, jeez.
And not, your arms are not covered in belly fat.
Right.
No, my arms are not covered in belly
Or
fat
lube.
anymore.
You didn't have to lube up for this experience. Either.
No, and that's what's nice about these. I think they come pre-lubed.
They do have like a sticky like jelly.
It's the same gel
Yeah.
that they
feeling
use
to
for
them.
like the echocardiogram stuff.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that now if you want to have lubed up belly fat on your arms, you have to find another person.
Right.
Yeah. You can still make that happen.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to try, though.
Go right down,
I can
right down the
imagine,
hill.
like, the 7th grade version of me, like, rubbing his fat belly on me, like, covered in lube. Jesus Christ. Are you guys going to skateboard?
Oh my
He's just shirtless running around.
How do we get to these places?
I don't know. It's great.
Speaking of pre-lube, I normally don't have a plug, but I do for
If you have lube.
oh yeah. Well, for Christmas, my brother and I each year we've decided that getting gifts for each other is stupid. We get everything we want anyways. We both make enough money that whatever we want we just get. So gifts are dumb. I mean, we don't do that. So we decided to get each other a few years ago, and Jared and I had this for a while too, where we would try and just outdo each other in how much money we can waste on each other for the worst gift possible.
Oh, yeah.
So I was this year. And it gets brutal. One year he got me 2,500 live ladybugs
Oh my god.
for Christmas, and he presents them to me Christmas morning. He pulls this out of a refrigerator because they're in stasis, and he says, "Okay, you have 30 days, or you're going to kill 2,500 live things. So you got to figure out how to do this." And he got me a little like pterodome type thing to keep ladybugs in. But it only keeps 20 ladybugs alive. So yeah, I committed genocide against ladybugs that year. But that's the thing.
What'd you do with them?
Well, I tried putting them in a plastic container, and it comes with this ladybug feed, which is essentially just like pollen and sugar water that they like. This was the year of the polar vortex in Pittsburgh, where it was like negative 30 degrees outside every day.
God.
So I had to keep them inside, and I have this little terrarium with like fake plastic leaves and stuff. So 20 ladybugs went in there, the lucky guys. And then the rest, I just got the biggest Tupperware container I could, and I stabbed some holes in the top of it. And then I went to Giant Eagle and I got some spinach because I didn't know what else to do, and I threw it in there. And then I dumped thousands of ladybugs in this Tupperware container because I was like, I can't kill this many things. This is going to hurt my soul.
Right.
Yeah,
But then it comes with this, you get a water bottle and you dump the ladybug feed in, and it says just spray it on your ladybugs every couple of days and they'll just... So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, they don't give you any... I kind of, missed, I guess, reading between the lines. Like, it should be a very small spritzer bottle. And I just got this, like, huge honkin' spray bottle. So I sprayed it like 4 times on them, and it created just a reservoir of water at the bottom, and they all drowned.
Jesus Christ.
Like in the few that survived, you could see they were like floating on their backs and twitching and just asking me to kill them. So then, it was negative 30 degrees outside, so I just threw it outside and be like, maybe you'll wake up in the spring. I don't know how bugs work. But
So, if you're listening to this, please don't call in or give us any emails about Chris is murdering thousands of creatures.
no,
I thought you were going to say, if you're listening to this, please don't give Chris any more ladybugs.
Also that, yeah, don't give Chris anything. Like, you don't need pets.
No.
Yeah, don't give any pets.
No, don't. Well, anyways.
Well, you tried to keep them alive.
I did. I tried.
You
I
attempted.
didn't. I'm not, I'm not a gardener. Also, it was January and it was negative something degrees outside.
This is your brother's fault.
It is. It's not my
father's
fault.
yeah.
I felt bad about this.
Right.
Yeah, I might have called off a day of work to think about what I did.
Well, now, and just to step back for a second, we did have our own gift war.
Oh, yeah.
Which culminated in... You go ahead and tell them.
Well, yeah. Jared and I used to try and just outbuy each other. And it got to a point where it had to be as extravagant as possible. And I think this year I gifted you an Xbox and a ton of games, and I bought you tickets that never. I spent so much money on those tickets, and we never found them. It was to like Journey or something, and I'm like, man, I really like outspent you. And you're like, okay, well, come outside. And I go outside in my house, and in my front yard is a moped. Jared bought me a fucking moped.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It depends on your definition of awesome.
It sounded like a lawnmower.
This was the same year I got the ladybugs.
Oh, that was the same year.
It was the same
I didn't
year.
know that.
I got 2,500 ladybugs in a fucking moped, and it's negative 30 fucking degrees outside. What do you do with that? So, anyways, to reel this back in here, this year I was really like starting to panic as to what I was going to get my brother that was really going to, fuck with him. And I came across, this is my plug, the Butt Plug of the Month Club. Now, I cannot sing as high a praise as I possibly can. I can't convey to you how great this company is. The website, it's like we were just talking about, one of the more, suspicious websites, but they are legitimate. And they have a variety of butt plugs. If you have a favorite, they will send that to you. Or if you're new to butt plugs, they have 3, 6, 9, and 12 options for you to get a different butt plug every month over the course of the year.
Wait, what do you mean 3, 6,
Are you
9,
talking
12?
inches diameter?
No, that is for the months. So you can go
Oh.
3, 6,
say
9
12.
month, or an
Holy
entire
shit.
year.
Oh, I see.
Oh, these are magnificent. The first one he got.
Is it your personal opinion?
No, I haven't tried one. I can only
Endorsement?
the endorsement is for the quality of service you receive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I said I spent a decent amount of money. I only got him the starter pack. Okay, so it's 3 months of a variety of different butt plugs. The one he just got, it's beautiful. It's veiny. It's thick. It's robust.
So it's a cock-shaped butt plug?
Oh yeah, this one is. It is magnificent.
But how long is it?
It's long enough to notice if it's in your butt. I'll tell you that much.
Is it like 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches?
This
6
guy,
inches?
he only sent me a picture of it, but this guy has to be at least 4 inches. I'm thinking maybe like upwards of 6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's a dildo. That's just a dildo.
That's what he said. He said, "God damn it, this is a dildo. There's nobody's ever going to use this." And I'm like, "Were you entertaining the idea of using this?"
If it was a smaller one, we could
It's supposed
actually
to be
use it.
embarrassing. Well, the first one I got him, it was just this cute little small one, and it's just like silicone rubber, and it looks like you put some lube on it, and it has a suction cup on the other end, so you can just like stick it to a wall and then back up.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you put it on the table, and it suctions to the table, and then you just kind of like poke it with your finger or flick it, and it makes the most satisfying boing sound. Yeah. At his Super Bowl party, we just slammed it on the table, and everyone's around like, "Yeah, football, fuck yeah, no butt plugs." Yeah, it's great. The Butt Plug in the Month Club, I definitely recommend to anybody who either wants to really embarrass someone, or if you like butt plugs. I mean, they seem to be pretty legit there. Also,
Can you anonymously send this to someone?
I can't imagine why not.
because they do state on there, do you want this sent with like your name or like a little like. And I wrote up this it was like a 3-paragraph letter that came with the first one that I wrote personally for him. But they screwed up my order when I placed it, and because of me transitioning and living with Lacey in the last place that I lived, I couldn't get mail at, so I rerouted all my mail to my parents' house.
Oh.
Let me just back you up for a second. You said with me transitioning and moving.
Yeah.
You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Looking really
Right.
good. Yeah.
I'm full.
I like the short hair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you know what's great, though, is that your brother proudly displays them on his mantle.
Oh, yeah, they're on his
We
mantle.
went over to play Dungeons & Dragons because I'm super cool. And he's just like, I was like, are these butt plugs? He's like, yeah. Butt Club of the Month. I'm like, I was just like, cool. I'm glad that he proudly displays them over his fireplace.
Oh yeah. Well, it's part of the bargain with
Right.
our shameful gifts. We have to. It's part of it every year, and then every year we do something that is so despicable that we have to make a rule that we can't do this next year. So
Wait,
this
you
year,
can't get the same thing or can't do despicable gifts anymore?
no, it's always despicable. But this year we decided no sex toys
Oh.
because I got him the Butt Plug of the Month club, and he got me a dildo silicone kit that you make out of your own dick. So it's a very elaborate, and it has plaster of Paris and all these weird complex things to make a dildo out of your own dick. And that's at my house. I mean, if anybody wants it, but I have to keep it for at least a year in my house and display it.
Wait,
So
you're not
it's
going to
like-
make a dildo out of your own cock?
I'm not.
Why not?
totally
You should make
dildo.
one and we can auction it off for charity.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
So
Chris's
what-
penis.
Are the-
Monkey's here.
Here's the problem with
event,
that.
The event, the day of our booth that we have, you can
Yeah.
all buy representations of each of our dicks.
Yeah.
At our Grown Up Humans booth.
The only rule is you have to use the NES color palette. Full NES color palette.
All right.
Cream, black, and
Shades of
red.
blue.
Oh, I think you meant of the system itself. Like they all look like controllers, like black, red, and like cream,
gray.
like gray.
I mean, you got to pay some money for that. I think if you buy enough merchandise from us, like if you hit X amount of dollars, you can request one of us, or maybe Becky's vagina if you're really weird and you want to plaster a Paris vagina.
Why is that more weird than a cock?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. I feel
really
like
good
there's a
question.
bigger
That's
market.
Well,
I'll make him a fleshlight. I don't care.
I guess so. I was just thinking to myself because I understand that, but I'm thinking I've seen it. I've seen the mold and everything, and in my mind, I'm like, how would you do that? That's so weird.
I
'Cause-
watched a real remember that show Real Sex?
Yep.
Way
Yeah.
back in the day. I watched them make one out of Jenna Jameson. Like,
It was there's a
weird.
pocket pussy one too,
Yeah.
which if I had that, I wouldn't have been like it's weird for Becky, but to try and make a dick out of your vagina it's very crazy. But yeah,
Out of your vagina.
Come with the right material.
When we get
He
the
is
Patreon
transitioning.
up and rolling,
fair.
like that could be like, the top-notch donation.
oh yeah, $1,000, you get Becky's vajayjay.
No, Brian and I have a mutual friend who he's the first person to ever introduce me to a pocket pussy. And I called him, and he was like, he was nowhere to be found for an entire day, and he finally manifested, and I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I was hanging out at the sex store with these hot chicks. And
Oh my
I was like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
His leg wasn't shaking anymore.
yeah, his leg wasn't shaking anymore. And I was like, oh man, that's cool. Well, I've been trying to get in touch with you all day. Like, we've been drinking. And we were like 19 or 20. He's like, yeah, well, look what I got. And he like opens the trunk to his Ford Escort. And there's like a box of several things. He's like, I got a pocket pussy. Like he was telling me a secret. Like, I got a pocket pussy. And he's like, it's right there. And I pick it up. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, why is this all wet? Oh my and he's
God.
like, well, because I used it, you idiot. It was disgusting. But you know what?
Did you hit him? Did you slam his head in the fucking trunk? Holy shit!
You never told me the story about why you cut off your own hand years ago.
But yeah, in fairness, though, I feel like he was just ahead of the game. Like, had I known then what I know now, I've been like, were they on sale?
I've never tried one before.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a pocket pussy and a flashlight? I mean, one has a light.
Well, I think
Look,
not
flashlight
much.
is a brand.
It's just disguised as a flashlight instead of just like a. I don't know what a pocket pussy looks like.
Pocket pussy is.
A pocket pussy looks like, remember those things you would get at the science stores where it was like a balloon filled with water?
You can't
Oh,
hold onto
one
it,
of those-
just slip it in.
oh.
Yeah, it just goes through. Oh, it's that, but it's like silicone or like some really squishy,
I see.
and then you just. It's just like the fleshlight, only the fleshlight, instead of having like this silicone the whole way around, the fleshlight looks like a flashlight.
Right.
Because there's like a can around it that I'd imagine increases grip, Yeah,
that makes sense.
And
Although I don't know if the original thing is just silicone, you could probably like apply more pressure with your hand and make it.
Oh, that's
you know
a
what I
good
mean?
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they have like designer vaginas for fleshlight too. Like you can get like Miss Whoever's vagina in
obviously.
Yeah, that's what the real sex that I watch. You can like get Jen and Jameson's or
Yeah.
tequila.
I don't know, man. Like I'm not opposed to it.
You just call
Working with
her.
kettlebells, like I have some serious like gnarly calluses on my hands. I'm just saying. But like, if I feel like you have to fucking wash it immediately after you use it,
yeah.
or else it like starts to smell like
Oh,
like a fucking like belly button or something.
You're gonna make me throw up.
oh, come on. Dude.
Like,
Nope.
You're welcome, audience. You're welcome.
write in, let us know who has a pocket pussy that they don't wash.
Or a belly button. It smells like that.
Your pocket pussy smells like a belly button.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm good. You guys came at the perfect time.
So, just to end this story here, the Butt Plug of the Month Club is fantastic.
Oh, here we go.
And but they ended up sending my order to my parents' house.
Oh.
So my brother had to go to my parents for his butt plug. We ended up getting it fixed, but they did send that first butt plug to my parents.
That's awesome.
Was it in a box that didn't have? Did it say
The box itself is very discreet.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what I meant,
but
yeah.
obviously I told them about this. We exchanged gifts, Christmas morning, and I'm like, guys, you're getting a butt plug for your son sent to your house. You have to be prepared for this. My parents are great. They were laughing. They were
yeah,
just
your
like,
parents would love
this
that
is-
shit.
yeah, they absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they were very nice, and they sent my brother this really nice letter too, talking about how he should feel comfortable with his butt plug, and if they had any questions, and they respond like their customer service is phenomenal.
That's
They're like,
great.
yeah, and they all use them. They make that very apparent in the letter. They're like, hey, we use these too. Just let us know. What do you want to know about butt stuff?
Good for them.
Anyways, I think we're done with this.
I rock butts, dude.
Rock butts.
Yeah, perfect way to end.
My butt now.
All right.
Well, I guess instead of doing it like the pre-book segments, we did a butt segment. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell them about where to get these. If you
Yeah.
want.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
So I got the guys as a very belated Christmas present. So the reason it's delayed is because my dog actually knocked over the first box. I got you guys whiskey glasses with our Grownup Human Comic People logo engraved on them, and also your names and I did that on purpose so that Jared wouldn't use plastic cups during the cheers.
Thanks.
But you're welcome. But also, I actually did the laser engraving myself at Hack Pittsburgh. You guys should check that place out. It's awesome.
Where's that?
It's
It's in Soho. It's
fuck is Soho?
uptown. It's in uptown.
It's uptown. It's like below the hill, like along Fifth.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
you
is.
mean where white people exist in the Hill District?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just like
Actually, it's right in the middle of where-
East Shady Side.
No.
Exactly.
But it's a great place. Like, unlike, a tech shop costs like a lot of money, and this place, it's $30 a month for a membership, and
Fuck.
you guys can use their like 3D printers and their laser engravers for free, and I'm learning just a lot. I'm like probably the dumbest member there. I'm also one of the few women who goes there.
Hack Pittsburgh.
Well,
Hack Pittsburgh.
MetaMesh kind of started there.
We did. We did.
Right? Yeah.
We did.
Monkey went up there. He used to go there all the time.
We still
he
do.
lived there for a while.
Monkey and I still go there quite often, and we hang out. It's a really cool group of guys, and I'm a member too. Monkey's a member, but anyway, we got these glasses, and I thought it would be a great idea once I heard about Ed that maybe we should do something to help fundraise for Ed's hospital care. 'Cause
Oh, yeah. Shout
I
out-
know as well as anyone else, hospital care sucks.
Yeah.
and it's very
Yeah.
expensive. So shout out to him because he's on his way to recovery. I think he's still in the hospital, but he's not in ICU anymore. But anyway, I got these glasses, and the excess that still have our logo on them but not names are for sale at Southside Comics. We also, if you want to place an order, if you even want to get your name engraved on it, I can do that for a little extra charge, and we're going to donate a portion to Ed's hospital fund.
Right. So you hit us up on Facebook or any of the social medias. Just you send us a message and we can get those.
We will
if
make
you
that
want
happen.
custom ones. Yeah. Just real quick for those of you who don't know, Ed Bailey, local comedian. He's one of the drinking partners for their podcast, part of the Epicast Network family. Shout out to everybody on Epicast. He was in a car accident and he got fucked up kind of bad. So there's a benefit March 18th from 7 to 11 p.m.
We're all going, correct?
Yeah. It's at the Hideout, 201 North Braddock Avenue, 15208. So it's a beer fest comedy fundraiser. Go over there, check it out. You can. I'm assuming all proceeds go to, I don't know, to Ed's family for hospital bills and stuff. And we'll be there, so we'll hang out and
Yeah, good cause.
yeah, it's a good cause.
Good guy.
Yeah, Ed's great. We had a lot of fun on their podcast.
That was fun.
We got very drunk.
Should do that again whenever.
That was a really funny episode, actually.
Yeah. In fact, they're on this Sunday. Actually, I'm going to be co-hosting with Day in subbing in for Ed on their podcast. So it'll be fun. So check out Drinking Partners on Epicast Network.
Nice.
Oh, and also don't forget that Ed's the benefit concert / podcast extravaganza is on March 18th. And you can go on. I shared the link once, but now there's a lot of formidable information about it.
Right.
So I can link that. It's March 18th, and I forget where it is.
I
There's an
can post a
entry
picture.
fee. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
post it. So yeah,
All right. Yeah, I think that's good for like opening segments. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
we talked about butts.
Real
Yeah.
quick.
We're about to go into closing segments.
all of the superhero nerds. The Button. So anybody that read DC Rebirth like last May.
Oh, the button, right?
Yeah, it ended with Batman finding the comedian from Watchmen's button in the Batcave. And he's like, "What the fuck?" Well, they're finally getting back to that whole point in April in a 2-part crossover between Batman and Flash. Batman 21-22, Flash 21-22. I expect it to sell lots of them. So if you want one of each, pre-order. You can pre-order online to guarantee your copies.
I want one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
There's a few different covers, but the lenticular ones, the hologram ones that change.
Yeah, I want those.
Oh, they're so cool.
I want those.
There's the first two are cool. It's like Batman and Flash, and then, but then they revealed Reverse Flash. Then they revealed
And,
Flashpoint Batman.
yeah.
like Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne.
And then they just revealed Jay Garrick.
Oh, nice.
Old school Flash, because he's nowhere to be found right now. So it sounds like it's going to be fucking awesome for superhero nerds.
Yeah,
I
really.
would like all those covers if you can get those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want some too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ordered a lot. I had to place my orders already because they take a while to make those covers, but I ordered a lot.
Okay.
I have a question about
Yes.
this comic. So obviously, variant covers, and especially in Pittsburgh and other areas as well, they're hip hop variant covers. I recently saw Spider-Man that was a copy of a Tupac album, and that actually looked really well done.
Yeah, maybe Marvel's been doing the hip hop variants for
A couple of years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Half
since
a decade, right?
14 or
15, I think. Yeah.
What year? It is.
They're pretty cool. I mean, most of them are unlockable for retailers. Some of them are a little high. So, if you want certain ones, they go for a lot of money because they were hard to get. But yeah, they're cool, and they definitely I've sold a lot of those for sure. They've kind of died out lately, but when they were in the prime, I was selling a lot.
We
Remember-
talked about. Sorry, go on.
Or just remember that one I showed you guys of Power Man and Iron Fist that looked.
That's what I was going to say.
It, was,
Yeah.
it looked kind of gay, but it's based exactly on a hip hop cover.
Mobb Deep.
Mobb Deep, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool as
But-
shit.
That,
Yeah.
the first album?
The one,
Shook ones?
The one I forget which album it is, but it's the one with one's kind of leaning away from the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks. I mean, it looks spot on from the cover of Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
So, but if you had never seen the Mobb Deep cover and you just looked at it and were like, oh, that looks a little homoerotic.
They are
It's still a
really
little
funny.
homoerotic.
It still is, yeah.
It still is.
They are best buds.
It was.
No,
is, and
speaking of
always
Iron
will be.
Fist, couple weeks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna watch
Netflix.
Iron Fist. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You guys watch Legion?
Oh right.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Fucking weird.
I like it though. Yeah, you
You know
were
what?
talking about
let's
it.
let's talk about that in the beginning of the next episode.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
we have plenty of stuff.
Good.
To discuss.
Good little
Sounds-
tease there.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna talk about
yeah.
Legion.
We'll talk about Legion on the next episode.
Grown up human comic people.
Well, we're more drunk because we're recording it today.
And we're further away from when Legion actually came out.
By the way, whenever,
One week later.
Whenever you said real quick, you're like real quick the button, like after the butt plugs and stuff, real quick the button. And I was like, oh, is this like? I didn't know that you were talking about the.
Here we go again.
Butts
No.
to buttons.
Well, I thought it was going to be. I thought you were doing like Urban Dictionary, button, the act of rocking butts. I thought that's where you were going with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bye, guys. Take care.
Gentlemen.
Pittsburgh Retro Gaming is leaving the building. Great to have you guys.
Looking forward to your event, really.
Thank you. Oh, and speaking, one thing I completely forgot. This is something we haven't done.
You know microphone. Say it again.
One thing I forgot, and we haven't done it before, is a portion of our proceeds for this event are going to Miracle Network.
Oh,
for Children's
nice.
Hospital.
Okay.
So,
Good.
if you're into supporting stuff like that, know that like a
I
portion
am.
of this is going to go to that.
Nice.
So better living through medicine, you know what I mean? So, but thanks again, guys. It's been a blast. It's always fun, and I wish we didn't have to leave.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Thanks for
good
stopping
time.
by.
Thanks for being on, guys.
All right, see you guys.
So let's go to some of these comic books. We
Yeah,
didn't,
let's look
we
at
didn't
books.
discuss
Got a lot of
who's
books.
going to do which one of these first ones. We got fucked.
So the three books for
beginning.
this episode are.
We have Quantum Teens Are Go, The Forever War, and Highlander. We start with Quantum Teens. Who wants to do Quantum Teens? I mean, if no one wants to do it, I could do it.
You got it.
All right.
Yeah, do it to
All right, here we go. So, Quantum Teens Are Go. It's a Black Mask book. I am into Black Mask stuff. They
They do some cool stuff.
do some real cool stuff. Yeah.
What was the other one they did?
And before you
Four
get
Kids Walking to a
started,
Bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give
love
them
that.
props. Their cover quality, the paper stock,
excellent.
is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
this is
Like we
This
are all
is nice.
we are all holding probably 9/8 copies because the covers aren't fucked up.
right. Like it's
Solid.
It's a strong enough paper stock that it won't get like the easy dings that
Yeah.
a lot of other publishers.
But it's not too thick where they start to split at the ends when you
Right.
fold it over.
Right.
So, and they always seem to be produced really nicely. Like
And the interiors also is like a
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really
smoother,
good.
glossy. It's not very. There's no graininess to it.
Yeah.
Oh, we sound really
Like a
nerdy.
mat.
and I really like the gloss on the page.
But like for people that like especially you and I, Jared, we like to get
collect.
books graded.
Yeah.
So like this is important to us because
Absolutely.
it's very hard to find books nowadays that are 9/8.
Yeah.
Because paper stock
Is
sucks.
shit. Yeah.
So those are all the good points of this book.
Greg didn't like it.
All right, so this book is it's created by Magdalene Visaggio and Eric Donovan, written by Magdalene Visaggio. Donovan is the pencils and inks, colors by Claudia Aguirre, letters by Zach Sam, edited by John Gorgia, and I'm not going to go into the other covers because it's bullshit whenever you list the artists of the other covers on a book that you're not holding the cover
That you
for.
can't even see the artwork for. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that's nonsense. So,
Nonsensical.
inconceivable. So we start out. The book starts off in Los Angeles. These two teenagers, I'm assuming, since that's the title of the book, are raiding like a decommissioned kind of tech lab or something. We find out later that they do this on the regular. They're into like tech stuff, and in order to get a lot of their tech, they raid these labs and stuff to get all their equipment. And kind of it follows them to to high school, and long story short, they are trying to build something, and this is a world in which exists other kind of, it seems like tech teams. It's almost like they have these independent Google type people that build stuff. It's almost like, it seems like a Fast and the Furious racing crew only for tech. And they're about to apply to be in this one group. And
That is what it's like. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good analogy.
So they're trying to apply to this one group with this thing that they're working on, and they go to the one group and they're like, "Hey, can you guys help us with this? We're trying to get into your crew." And the chicks, one of the leaders is like, "That tech is like doesn't really work. So you might as well just work on something else or whatever." And so they're disheartened initially, and then there's this like other guy who's hanging out there, and he apparently used to work for this crew. He's like, "I can help you with that," and he does, and they turn this thing on, and some crazy shit happens, and that's pretty much the whole book. I thought the story was easy to follow.
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of there's a lot of terminology and nomenclature, I guess, in terms of like things they were referring to that was odd and different, but the way the story progressed, it was very easy to understand the context of those things.
Right. They created a world that was, I mean, it has a little bit of depth to it, but without going too far into the world itself. And by the dialogue really gives you everything you need to understand what's going on in the story.
Well, and also you didn't even mention the one thing that we were talking about earlier that we applauded about this book. The main character.
Oh yeah. Because it wasn't like a thing.
They didn't make a big
I didn't
deal
even think about it. Yeah. The female is someone who has transitioned from being a guy to a girl, and the two main characters are dating. Like it's his girl, their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they mention at some point that like they're at high school and some bully tries to make fun of her for being a dude and makes fun of the guy for dating a guy, and the guy it doesn't even faze him. This is like in the near future, presumably.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
So the guy, like the guy, what's his name? What's the male character's
it's like
name?
an Indian name.
It's
Suresh? No, not Suresh.
Is it Danny
it's an
from
S.
Hey Dude? This is the one comic I didn't read, guys.
Sumeshi.
Sumesh. Yeah, Sumesh. He's not even shook by it. He's like, dude, whatever. Like he's still laughing. Like this guy's trying to make fun of his girlfriend. He's just like laughing about it
Because he doesn't need to step in and punch anybody for it because she can do that herself.
Sure, yeah. But it's like they're living in like this age where it's like not a weird thing. Like in high school to have a significant other that used to be a different sex, and they're just like, oh yeah, that's a thing. That's not a thing.
Or just to be developed to that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like we've talked about on here before. You meet somebody, she's fucking beautiful.
Right.
She's got a vagina.
Right.
But a month later, several weeks later, 3 hours into the conversation, she's like, actually, I used to have a cock. Like, it's not there anymore.
Right.
Like, I have a vagina and breast and,
Right.
whatever. It's like,
Okay.
can you deal with that? Can you deal with it?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
But Dan and I were talking about this earlier, where they mention that, and it's like kind of it's not a plot point at all. It's just like, oh, that just happens to be.
Yeah, it's not like a hey, look at us, we're doing something like so like PC, and like it's just part of the book, part of the story, and it.
I felt like it was a little heavy-handed at first.
Really?
Sorry,
Really?
Greg.
I was going to say something like, you first. Go ahead.
The part I thought was heavy-handed was, like when the mother was like, Brandon, I mean
Natalie.
Oh,
yeah.
And it was like, come on. It was like, my Brandon would never be out all night with boys. And, Natalie, like the transition, Brandon is like, you wouldn't know what Brandon wanted. I was like, oh, fuck, here we go. This is like just like alters. You guys are jumping on the fucking bandwagon.
But that was all it was, though.
That was it.
But then, whenever they did the stuff in the cafeteria,
The bully
I was like,
part.
okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I like what you're doing here. This is kind of a cool thing.
So forgive me, I didn't read this, but Mike, one question, because I'm going to, forgive me. I just got it this morning. So I don't like how Alters progressed. I read the first couple issues, and I thought it was a little heavy.
See, I do like it, actually.
I don't dislike the comic. I felt like the issues, the political and socioeconomic issues are kind of forced into it. Now, again, I'm rooting for the brother.
Right.
The one with MS, I think.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
so
get that
waiting.
far yet with that character?
Not yet.
Okay. I didn't say anything.
So is this similar to that?
No.
No.
I would say no.
Okay, good. Awesome.
No. Like, that was just. I think that was just like a character development thing.
Okay.
Like, just to kind of.
And that does happen. I have a trans friend named Liz who
Yeah.
her mom's like, my Liz would never do any. She's a guy now. She was a female turned into a guy. I'm really terrible with names of what they call themselves. Forgive me. Former female, had the surgery. Now she's a man. But her mother would always say, Liz would never do this. So maybe, it's not so
Well, yeah, and
They're forced.
right,
It
and
happens.
what initially I thought that he just that she had just had a brother, because my mom always is just like Jared. I've been Jordan Jared for since my brother was born. And I know that if you have siblings, your
God.
parents are like, I'm gonna say names until it's the one that I mean.
Yeah, that's it. I'm the eldest of 3. Megan, Bethany, Becky, whoever the hell you are, get over here.
That's an incredibly valid point. And Daniel and I were talking about this on our way over here, and that, I mean, it is what it is. The comic industry is really pushing the tolerance of everything more than anything else.
Good.
It is. For better or worse, some of these comics I read, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, quit shoving this down my throat. We've talked about it on previous podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel is...
They're trying too hard
They try too hard with it, yeah.
Oh, we're going to talk about that next episode.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we'll talk
Tune
about it.
in next episode.
We're doing a lot next episode.
A little Marvel
Legion.
update.
A little Marvel update. I didn't know how I thought about this, and I also read this really fast because I got these comics this morning, and I think you make an incredibly valid point that actually just changed my mind on it, where the mother... You're right. My brother's name is Jonathan, and I've been Christopher Jonathan.
Right.
She doesn't use my name if she's happy. It's my full name. She's never called me Chris.
It's your government name that when your parents are unhappy.
Yeah,
Full name.
If she's
Rebecca
thrilled,
Faith.
it's, son, dear heart, love of my life, those types of things.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm, an asshole, which is most of my life, it's Christopher / Jonathan, the thing that came out of me. Get over here.
Yeah.
But I like that perspective of it, which I didn't even pick up on with the mother there. I think you're right. And I think because it's such a know-nothing thing in this comic that it is a trans character, that's what they were trying to convey.
Right. It's like it wasn't her her id saying like, I wish my son was still a boy. It was her being like, Brandon, sorry.
Yeah.
Natalie.
Because I guess now that I think of it more, if the mother were more of a more stubborn about it, she would just say Brandon and not say Natalie.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I know that my mom has, and I'm pretty sure all of our parents have it's almost like an ingrained way of saying your name that it will make you furious immediately.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you hear your name said in that way, you're just like, what?
Yeah, but
do you want?
But the mother wasn't angry with Brandon, Natalie.
Exactly.
She wasn't angry. She was disappointed.
Right.
It's my parents called their kids by their siblings' names. So like my sister Stephanie's been called, like my dad calls my sister Rita, which is his sister's name, or my mom calls her Arlene, which is her sister's name. But it's their daughter, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Anyway,
right. It's like this is not necessarily like her being aggressive or like trying to start something. It's just like, sorry, I just my instinct. Yeah. I've been turning my head upstairs and saying Brandon for like 14 years, and you just change into a different person, or like the person you are, and it's her. It's okay. Making the transition as well. Yes. I think maybe.
What I was going to say, as far as like the cafeteria stuff, is much like we were talking in Alters, but like, I wonder if just clinging on to anything that might make this story more interesting. I wonder if the brother who's disabled will have a part later on, and perhaps he does. But no, what I'm saying, like much like we were speculating, it was complete speculation at the time. I'm wondering if the girl that they ran into at the cafeteria will be like, can it be like some minor antagonistic force later on in some way? Like I'm thinking about you ever see Men at Work, the Charlie Sheen? Okay, the other guys that like the antagonists in that movie were the guys who killed the blonde guy, and they were whatever. But in the background were the rival garbage men who like sabotaged their car, or like just like playing pranks on each other left and right. But like at a really important part of the movie, then they pop in. They're like, I cannot wait to see the look on these dipshits' faces when they realize they don't have any brakes in their car, and just like that derails their plan against the main villains in the movie. But that seed was planted earlier, and so I'm wondering if this conflict that they have with this other chick in the high school is based on the gender whatever. I wonder if that's going to be like a recurring thing. maybe it'll be as good as Men at Work. I don't know.
I want to see.
That's tough.
I want to see the main
For
character
the land
punch.
down under.
I want to see
Gorilla men plunder.
the main character, the female, punch her in the face.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like a guy punching. I mean, it's not a guy punching a woman in the face.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know how you handle that situation.
Well,
I was
no, but
thinking
she
about that
says
when I was reading
like I can handle it myself.
Yeah.
And somebody else was like, oh yeah, because it's like a dude. You know, you're a dude, so you could like, well, you could hit a girl. Like,
Yeah, it's
I kind of wanted her to hit her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
I
though
don't
he
know.
has transitioned, still has man strength.
And also, maybe
Yeah.
maybe you shouldn't antagonize somebody who like at one point was a dude and is probably stronger than you.
Right.
That's just a bad call. Like,
I mean,
why
then
would you do that?
We could expand on it from there. Maybe you shouldn't antagonize a dude.
Just don't antagonize. That's kind of like the Olympic.
Now
debate.
Right.
we've mounted a slippery slope, and we're going to stop right there.
Wasn't there an
We were 1
Olympic
foot
swimmer?
over the top.
Yeah, let's just stop right there. Okay, let's go around. Anybody else have any?
You know what? Yeah, just real fast here. I actually think in going over it when we talked about it, not to beat on the trans thing, but I actually think this is an important comic for that the rights right now because our recent
Yes.
our Commander in
Mr.
Cheeto.
Commander in Cheeto.
Commander
I
in
like
Cheeto.
that.
Yeah, that's
I
what
like
I've been
that.
calling him. Commander in Cheeto just rescinded federal rights on the bathroom issue.
What a dingus.
And we don't know how it's going to play out. We don't. And
If
I'm
it bothers
not
you, if you're looking at other people in the bathroom, fuck off.
You're a weirdo.
You're a fucking weirdo. Yeah, like I don't. When I go in the bathroom,
Yeah.
unless I know the one other person in the bathroom with me, I don't fucking talk to them. I really don't even look at them.
Yeah.
If you're in the bathroom looking at other people, you're a fucking creep. Stop doing that and quit letting it bother you. Who's in the bathroom with you, it doesn't
Yeah.
fucking matter.
Right.
And as a girl where that's opposite, no, I'm still bothered by people who talk to me on the shitter.
Right.
But look, if I'm in the bathroom and I'm at the urinal with somebody else and I look over and I say, hey, nice dick, and they say, I just got it, then that weirds me out.
I mean, no, you should be like, hey, congratulations, man. Yeah.
Bigger than mine.
I mean,
I like that, Greg.
Yeah.
Good point.
Girls always go to, like, I guess traditionally go to the bathroom together, and I will have females that be like, hey, do you want to come with me? No.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I want to take a piss. Like, I don't want to take a piss, like, butted up against anybody in this room.
Right.
We
Or any male for that matter. Unless
I-
we have to. Unless we're handcuffed together in a concentration camp.
I don't even think I'll talk to you in the bathroom just because I don't want to talk to anyone in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm the same
But then
way.
the second we get out of the
I'm very
bathroom,
Elliot
resume
Reed.
conversation.
Right.
No, and that's what I mean. Whenever I was living in places not the U.S., there were women like janitors who they walk right into the men's room.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Fucking walk right in. You're taking a piss, and like the first time I was like, "Whoa!" And I realized she gives zero fucks about my car.
Right.
She's there to like clean
Doing
up
her
some
job.
piss and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, of course.
But did they try to charge you for toilet paper? Happens all the time in Czech Republic.
No, never. Thankfully, they were like employed by whatever like
Yeah.
mall and store.
Right. Because
Yeah, so-
I'm not like my dick isn't out in the bathroom. I'm just, at the urinal. That's the only time it's out is I'm facing the urinal. So like maybe the person next to me could see it, but I don't care who's behind me. Like I don't give a shit. Like if you're in the stall, like you're not seeing anything.
Well, then
Right.
there's,
I
like,
can
the
wash my
whole-
hands next to anybody. I don't give a fuck about that.
The whole
Yeah.
common sense aspect of it. Like if I wanted to become a girl, I'm probably attracted to men. So if I go into a girl's restroom, I'm not interested in the other females.
that's not necessarily true.
But it is in a lot of cases.
It is. You're right.
No, I mean, I think your sexual preference isn't affected by what you feel like you should be.
But
Yeah.
that's why some people are uncomfortable with it because the one of the arguments is like you're in there to like peek
Oogle,
at,
Right.
like chances are you could go either way. Like it doesn't necessarily mean you're in there because you know what I mean?
Chances
I
are you
see what you're trying
just
to
want to
say,
take
yeah.
a shit.
Yeah.
Like, how many gay
Right?
rapes have you heard of in public
0.
restrooms?
Trump has assaulted
You know,
more
like-
women than trans people in bathrooms.
Right.
yeah.
Or gay men, or I mean, in the U.S., I don't know that there's like a bunch of gay rapes happening in the Target bathrooms.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, that's not. I don't feel like that's not.
You're a very pretty girl.
You'd also.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You would be a very pretty girl.
pretty girl.
You would be a pretty girl.
I'm
I
just
would
sitting-
not be.
No, I would not be.
No. Well, I don't know.
I'm not.
I haven't
You'd
passing
be a pretty girl. Greg would be a pretty girl.
Right,
Jer,
Greg?
maybe.
Nah.
If
I'm
He
not
went to
winning any
Thailand.
female beauty competitions.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I'm bi. I'm calling it as I see it.
But you know what? My whole point behind this, and I kind of like unleashed a bomb there because this is just such a hot topic. But the thing about this, in us talking about it, and I realized that this isn't propaganda. This is not an agenda. This is an attempt to normalize this particular faction that's happening right now, and we need more of this.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah.
We need more of this to prove that there is no agenda.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening here. Nobody's trying to, make transgender communism happen. It's just these are people, and they are part of a story.
And we don't know anything about any of the
or space travel or something.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know anything about any of the people who wrote this book. Like maybe the person who maybe one of the staff on the book is a person who has transitioned, and they just wanted to see someone who they can relate to in the comic book.
True.
And I mean, I know that for me, like a lot of the superheroes are like white guys. It's like, okay, as a kid, it's like, oh, well, I'm not a white guy, so I can't be a superhero.
That's why Black Panther was such a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
late
like
70s.
when you see characters that we've talked about this before. When you see characters that reflect you want to read that book.
Yes.
And a lot of times creators who have grown up reading comic books want to see someone who reflects them. So, if a trans person wants to write a comic book, maybe the main character is going to be trans. That's just how that makes sense.
Right.
I've gotten some feedback. Faith, we've talked about Faith. We never reviewed it. She's an obese superhero.
Yeah, I love Faith.
She's great. I love that comic, and it's not about her weight at all. It's just her as a person. But I have a lot of friends who they're like, if I wanted to get started in comics, I'm a girl, where would I go? And I've actually pointed them in a few directions, but I always recommend Faith at the end. Yeah. You're fat, so you'll enjoy this. No, that's not what I meant. But it's a very well written comic, and it's very well done. And every person that I've recommended that to loves it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I really like about that comic is that because Faith is a famous superhero, and because she's famous, it doesn't. It's like if somebody said like, "Oh man, Adele's voice is beautiful." It's like Adele is like a bigger lady.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, probably bang Adele because she's got a great voice, and she's like she's famous. So and so in this comic book world, Faith's weight is not an issue because she's famous, kind of, and so people are like, "Yeah, Faith is my fucking favorite," because she really in that universe. They're on a whole lot of superhero-y superheroes.
Right.
She's one of the only ones. Like you've got like Exo Man of War, you've got Divinity, but they all work for the government and shit, and they're like a little shady.
And then there's
Faith
is the telepath people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like the weird telepath people, what's his name?
Harbingers
But Faith is like an actual. She actually acts because she's a nerd. She acts like a superhero.
Yeah.
And so she goes to Comic Cons and shit. And
And she's a blogger, and she sucks. She doesn't suck at it. She struggles with it like everyone else struggles.
she's
with
like Peter Parker.
Like Snot Girl struggles.
Oh god.
Yeah.
But what's Faith's superpower?
She can create some kind of field where she can fly. She can create like a shield around herself.
Yeah.
She can manipulate. Is she telekinetic? I forget.
I think she can move. I
think she can move other stuff with her mind too.
other stuff. She can't read minds.
Oh,
but
yeah,
she
I
can
think
move
so,
herself.
She can move stuff.
Yeah.
with
She's in the Harbingers.
Yeah, she's one of the Harbingers. And also, like she another subversion is like she for a long time dated like the super good looking in shape dude from the Harbingers, who's actually an asshole. Like he was
the tricking
worst.
her, right? That was the
No. He's just a big dummy. Like he's like a selfish piece of shit. He's not a bad guy. He's still a good guy. He's
Dumbass.
he's a jock.
I don't know this character at all, but it sounds like the Huffington Post wrote Green Lantern.
Close.
Kind of, yeah. But no, she's
Better written than Huffington Post.
It is.
doesn't
It's
take
more
much.
realistic. Like she works at.
I know.
She works at like an online newspaper, and
Yeah.
But the people she works with know that she's a superhero because at one point the place was attacked, and she was like, "Well, I guess I got to
Yeah.
save the day," and they're all going to know. So
I did read that.
yeah, and it actually helps her out because like they're like, maybe Faith should show up, here, or maybe you should do an interview with her, and she's like, "Oh, guys, come on, I can't keep doing this." That book is great.
I really like Faith.
Yeah. Anyway, we
But my point was that it's not about her weight; it's about the character,
Right.
And it's not being ham-fisted, and
Right.
So
Yeah.
well done.
I mean, this book, I love the ending. Like the last page is like what the narration was. It's exactly what I was thinking.
yeah.
What the literal fuck, like those weird things above them, and like all that yellow, like I don't know, plasma, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
cool.
I look at the art. I think it's great.
Yeah, the art's very
Really
good.
cool.
Yeah, very stylized.
Do we know the issue run? Like, is it a limited or do we know?
Who knows? Black Mask is they march to the beat of their own drum.
Yeah, they do what they want.
Cool.
Yep.
That's
Good
cool.
for them.
That's cool. Because I mean, like 4 Kids comes out like whenever.
Yeah, like
Oh God, I know, and I love that
issues in a
comic.
year?
Yeah.
I love that comic.
3 issues a year.
I don't know. Yeah,
What,
that's
4
awesome.
Kids?
Yeah,
Oh,
so issues. That book's awesome. I don't care how.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
1 a year, I'm happy.
I'm the same way with the Venture Brothers. Oh, you're creating 1 season per decade?
Sure.
I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, like Rick and Morty too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we're gonna go into would you read it or not?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm going to actually say, because I was very high on this comic just a little while ago, but I wouldn't continue to read it. I actually didn't like the story. I will say that it is beautiful, and I still stand by my message previously that more stories need to have that. But the actual story itself, it didn't hook me.
I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
No, I wouldn't read it.
No?
The Fast and Furious type stuff that you said about, I can't stand that kind of shit.
Okay.
I'm against it also. I didn't really like any of the characters, and the dialogue was much more akin to Fast and the Furious than it was akin to 4 Kids Walk Into the Bank, which is a good book, and I can't put it on the same level as that.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I liked what they were doing with the main character after that initial interaction with her mom. Otherwise, I felt like instead of saying, he's like a bullshit Matthew McConaughey or something, they should. I think it would have been better suited.
Also, in the future, is Matthew McConaughey still like a sexy guy?
Right.
That's a good point. That's a really.
It reminded me a
think
lot
of
more
that.
of like bullshit Nick Cage
Yeah.
from Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I love it.
What was that? That was Gone in 60 Seconds, I think. Was,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Nick
he
Cage
was
version.
in-
Yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Which is a wonderful.
Unless you're
movie.
thinking
Yes.
of bullshit Paul Walker from
He
Fast
was also
and
in
Furious.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Nick Cage is too much of a I didn't really dig it.
Well, oh man, what if there was a crossover between Gone in 60 Seconds and Fast and the Furious?
That should happen.
Yeah. Why hasn't that
should
happened
happen.
yet?
Gone
the
in
10th
6
the 10th movie.
Furious seconds.
Yeah. Like they need the
damn.
best car thief in the world, and it's fucking Randall Reigns.
Man, Nick Cage.
God
You
damn,
just-
that'll be great.
You just created something for Hollywood right
Oh my god.
now. You need to call people.
Oh man.
Nick Cage would do it for free.
Yeah, he will.
He's so obsessed with comics. He has what the biggest comic collection
He does.
out of anybody in the United States, possibly the world.
Yeah, he had to sell his Superman or his Action Comics #1 a little while ago.
Yeah. Well, and one of the
Why? What
reasons
happened?
why he's so
'Cause
obsessed
he
with
buys
comics,
ridiculous shit.
That's why he does all this stupid shit. That
Yeah.
like you watch a Nick Cage movie and you're like, why are you doing this? You're an Academy Award-winning actor. He does it so he can buy comics.
Yes.
That's
That's
what he
it.
does.
And also dinosaur skulls and pyramids.
Oh, he is. The other podcast of the comic podcast, in which I guest are on, Bry Guy and his Super Friends, I mentioned it before. We did an entire episode about Nick Cage. And I ran down, I found it online, that the top 12 weird shit that Nick Cage, like it's an alligator and a crocodile, that he tried to make them get along in a castle. He's just got weird shit all over the place. But you know what? He's Nick Cage, and he can do it.
You two things should get along.
Yeah.
Well, he.
Sorry, I just wanted to. He was won an Academy Award. Yeah, did he really?
Have you never seen Leaving Las Vegas?
No, I never saw it, but I didn't know that he won an Academy Award for it.
Yeah, and he was also nominated for Adaptation, one of my favorite movies of
Oh,
all
I
time.
love
He was
Adaptation. That's a great
incredible.
movie.
Oh, and he plays at the same time 2 twin brothers that are constantly.
I have seen Adaptation.
He's incredible in it.
No,
And-
that's a solid performance. I pay so little attention to like Grammys and Oscars because they're all bullshit. But I didn't even know that. That's very notable.
Oh, Leaving Las Vegas is not a good movie, and if you ever want to like be happy, you shouldn't watch it. It's an amazing movie, but it's not a good movie. Like
Right.
Requiem for a Dream.
I was just about to say,
Yeah.
just be depressed for the next.
I've seen it one time, and that's it. I'll
No,
never
you don't
watch
need to
it.
watch more than one.
Yeah.
One of the most uncomfortable movies I've ever seen.
Yeah. Leaving Las Vegas is in that same
What
vein.
Dreams May Come is another
I mean,
one.
the whole point of the movie.
yeah.
Oh yeah, What Dreams May Come. Yeah. But Leaving Las Vegas, he just decides to kill himself by drinking himself to death. And spoiler alert, there's no twist.
He succeeds.
Yeah. And it's just him and like the opening scene where he's such an alcoholic that he has to cash his check because he's broke. and he's shaking at the beginning where he has to
DTs.
tie his hand in order for him to actually endorse his check.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Right.
The title of that other title that as a title you throw out there was "What Dreams May Come," as opposed to "What Dreams May Come," which sounds like a porno offshoot of that. So just wanted to,
It's got Robin Williams in it.
just wanted to correct that. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
What Dreams May Come stars a different person named Robin.
Right.
Robin Williams.
Robin,
Good job, Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall's here.
Kendall!
Very well done.
Thank
Good
you,
job.
Kendall.
But yeah, I will read the next one. I think that's where we're going with this.
So we got
Yeah.
a few.
Yeah.
Seems split.
Yeah. So I have to pee. Someone take over their Forever War.
Forever War. Who wants to go into Forever War? I mean, I'll start it off.
I can do some of it too.
Like, apparently this is a novel or a series. One of my buddies told me about it. He's like, it's really fucked up. You got to read it. It's like the darkest shit in terms of space travel and war.
Yep.
It's like Starship Troopers, but like super, super dark and depressing. And I was like, well, that kind of sounds interesting. And then I read the synopsis online. I was like, okay, that definitely sounds interesting. And I've been waiting to read this comic, which I read this morning. And,
what is Titan Comics? I've never heard
Titan
of it.
Comics is an imprint. They're based out of the UK. They handle all the Doctor Who stuff, Torchwood.
Really?
Yeah, but they have a weird line. But this was a good addition to it. Like, holy shit, was this dark?
Yeah, it really was.
Incredibly dark.
Yeah.
They show the realistic horrors of space travel.
And very heavy.
yeah.
I mean, it's very wordy. I mean, which is, I think, lends itself to what it needs to be. I
Well,
mean, it's
yeah,
very-
I mean, when you're adapting a novel
Yeah.
like this type of story, I would imagine, including all that dialogue and narration and exposition, is very important to set up the world itself and get into the problem. But yeah, Jerry, I said to you before we started recording, like, I don't want to go to space anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very fun. Not
I've
anymore.
never wanted to go to space.
No, like, this is
They
terrible.
show people getting killed in most ways. I think very realistic ways. I would assume. I mean, I've never been to space, and I've never seen anybody get killed in space, but like, pretty much.
Oh, this thing has every horrible, shitty way to die in this book. It's
Yeah, every horrible, like everything that. Oh, her rib flew out of her body. Oh, this guy's head exploded.
Yeah, like the whole
Okay.
rib thing.
Yeah.
Like, just like they tell you not to sleep during space travel, but then like the one woman fell asleep and
Her rib came out.
They're like, what?
Most likely
only
she'd
supposed
die
to-
from a blood clot, something lame.
You're only supposed to sleep for like 20 minutes at a time or something like that, because if you sleep for any longer than that,
Your muscles.
yeah.
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 They also set up that these are like an elite group of people. Like
Right.
they all have like super high IQs and
Yeah.
they're like
They're good
they're-
shape.
yeah, they were all handpicked to do this, and
There were
at the
50 of them out of the world.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
say like you're not all coming back.
He said,
Yeah.
if 50 of you make it, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
right?
half. Yeah, half of that.
Yeah, I
50.
think he said half.
Yeah.
Well, that's 50%. Or
No,
that's what I meant,
There
50%.
are 50 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I meant 50%.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
One thing this book does that I'd like found very I don't know, topical, like when they were talking about the propaganda leading up to the war, like I stopped reading from it and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Why would they want to go to war with an alien species they know nothing about and they have to travel across the galaxy to do this? Like, this is stupid. But everyone's like rallying to do this. Like, oh, this sounds like kind of the world we live in. Like,
It reminded me
Yeah.
of Ender's Game, actually.
Yeah,
Because
it
like,
reminded me of
everyone's
Ender's
like, oh,
Game,
we
too.
have this horrible, enemy out there, and we have to get out there. And they choose the elite. It
Yeah.
reminded me of Ender's Game.
And they don't know who they are, really.
They know
Ender's
nothing.
Game.
They just know that like we sent ships out there and they got destroyed or whatever, so we have to like go take care of that shit.
Yeah.
Ender's Game.
Yeah.
Instead of just not exploring that part of the galaxy, let's just leave those people alone.
Well, I like
Yeah,
how
it's
the
far
one
away,
woman,
too.
the woman who died. Well, I'm sorry. The one woman who questions everything, and they said, "Yeah, you should." One of the trainers is expert in obvious, silent killing. He said, "You should beat him with a shovel in the kidneys." She's like, "How do we know that the aliens have fucking kidneys?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, we know that they're kind of like humans." She's like, "You don't know that."
They know nothing. Like,
Yeah.
and at the end, when they're going into like the first mission, they say like, "We know nothing, so there is no battle plan." Basically, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
And I liked how it ended like that. Like, we saw nothing of the aliens, nothing of the threat. It was all just preparing us for this ultimate threat. And I thought the way it ended was just perfect. Like, I will definitely come back because I want to know.
Yeah.
All right, I want to see the aliens now.
Yeah.
I want to see what they're up against.
Or are there aliens?
Or right,
Exactly.
there might not even be aliens. Who knows?
And forgive me for being a broken record, but that's exactly how I felt when I first read Ender's Game. I'm like, are these things really out there? Is this kind of a wag the dog situation where it's just, some government that's put in place to make an enemy out there to bring us all together in solidarity.
Or to distract us.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm very curious. I might actually just read the book.
Yeah,
because I like this first issue a lot. But I do. I like because I haven't read the book. I don't know how much of this is like the book is translated into just the illustrations. Because I imagine in the beginning part, like if it was a book, you obviously wouldn't see the person like this explosion, the person getting her head fucking blasted off.
Yeah.
So I don't know if in the book they have described that in detail, but I kind of like. They did a good job translating it because I got the visceral nature of with just a narration and him being like, yeah, and so this is what happened, and then you see it happening, you're like, holy shit, that was horrifying.
One of my favorite things is it's just one page and it just says he's narrating it, but he's just saying their names, and then it just shows them dying
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how they died, and you can just figure it out just by watching the page. Just
Right.
Ohana, Freeland.
Yeah.
And Freeland, he just fell off of something and just floated into space.
Yeah.
And they just they show a glimmer of him just. That was what happened to that guy. That's
Yeah.
how he died.
I had a question if you guys noticed this. It was a reoccurring color for me that signified death, the orange.
Yeah.
At first, I asked Jer, I'm like, is there blood orange? And at first it was the medicine, the girl whose rib popped out of her chest. And it was the medicine that was used to treat her. But then there was reoccurring themes. Every time someone died, you'd see some orange.
there was orange, but then their outfits are orange too.
So
So it's signifying
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
didn't
just.
know if it
I
was
think
a
it's just.
theme.
It's just. Well, probably, but I think that the fact that it's the red Star Trek uniform. They're wearing orange, and when they die, it's very clear.
Okay.
Because there's more orange in the
Yeah,
picture.
like Freeland is riding an orange, some kind of hovercraft or something, and that's when he flies off into space.
Yeah, there's a
Exactly.
little bit of orange in all those panels.
yeah. That's I didn't know if that maybe would be some sort of clue to something.
I appreciated how many panels that were sometimes on a page to
Yeah.
properly tell the story.
Yeah.
That was nice. They didn't cut any corners
I might be alone
to get
in
this
this
story to us.
I didn't like the storyboarding.
Really?
I didn't. Yeah.
It's very. It's almost like an antiquated way of storytelling
Yeah.
these
Like
days.
Frank Miller.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Frank Miller graphic novel.
Watchmen-esque, 9-panel.
Exactly. Thank you.
Type storytelling. It's very. It's old school. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not new. So if
They're English.
well, that's true. But if you if you read a modern a comic that is more in tune with how things are designed now, and then you go read this, it's a shock. It's a bit of a jolt. This is not what I'm used to seeing.
But I would honestly prefer this, heavy. I just, quite frankly, I feel like I'm getting more of a bang for my buck whenever I see a lot of heavy wording and storytelling as opposed to Black Widow #1, which I'm always going to insult. So,
That book's good, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, all right, it got better.
hell
It got better. Okay, but my point is that just generally, when I'm reading a first issue, I prefer to get some story in, as opposed to picture time with Bill Cosby.
I don't know. This is a case by case basis. I'm not gonna make.
It's a personal preference,
No, I just mean each book. Sometimes there's a book where there's a bunch of words. Like Four Kids Walking to the Bank has a ton of.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I'm just like, this is great. I could read this dialogue all day. But then sometimes there's stuff where I'm like, why are they still talking?
Right.
Oh my god,
Way too
nothing's
much.
happening.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that I prefer one or the other.
Oh,
Depends
you're
on what
going to
it
get
is.
amazing
Depends on the
storytelling from very
execution.
little word. Yeah, exactly. You're going to get amazing storytelling from very little wording and great illustrations, as opposed to heavy wording and just terrible author. Just
Right.
It depends. It really depends.
Right. Do we? Oh, Dan went somewhere. No. So would anybody else?
I'm very harsh on sci-fi.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of sci-fi, which is why I'm very harsh on it. And I really like old school hard sci-fi. I read a lot of Heinlein and Harlan Ellison So whenever these things come up, I'm always reserved in how I critique them. I will say that at first I was not really enthusiastic about this, and I do think it's an interesting concept, but it's nothing new. It's really not. There's
it's like
nothing,
very Starship Troopers-y.
It very much is.
Game.
This was written in 1974, the original story,
And which is fine.
So when was Starship Troopers written? Because that's you mentioned Heinlein.
probably 65 maybe.
Okay, so your point still holds up then.
Yeah.
In that case.
And I mean, like, there's a lot of that old school hard sci-fi, like Heinlein, Stranger in a
59.
Strange Land. 59? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I apologize. I'm not up on the decade to decade
You're good.
stuff.
You're good.
Yeah. And that's fine. You know what? Great. And I'm glad that there's probably going to be a new generation, and I support that kind of gets into these concepts, this hard sci-fi like this. There is a TV show right now that is not quite on the same page, but I feel is a much better representation of what they're trying to portray with the harshness and the hard sci-fi, which is called The Expanse.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
all
Expanse is incredible, and season 2 is on right now, and it's more like kind of this concept meets Game of Thrones, and I hate to say that because Game of Thrones is used for everything nowadays,
Yeah.
but it really is. It's that storytelling perspective of Game of Thrones. Multiple people, you see different aspects of what's happening right there, and this antiquated, I feel, is apropos. Somebody said that earlier, just with the storyboarding and the telling of the story. There's nothing really new here. But if this gets a younger generation, somebody that is not really into sci-fi at all, I'm all for it. Make fucking 1 billion of these comics, because
Yeah, you're bringing like classic hard sci-fi into the modern age with pictures.
yes.
And this is, like I said, I haven't read the original book, but this might be easier to read than the original book. I don't know.
I would. I mean, that's
Some
really,
hard sci-fi is really hard to read.
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's not for everybody.
Yeah,
So this
reading-
probably is.
Yeah, like some Ursula Le Guin stuff. I'm just like, I like the idea of this, but I just can't keep reading this book. It's like super duper hard to get through. Anyway,
Because there's so much detail in like the ship and the look and the world and stuff. That
Exactly.
it would be like a page to really get the amount of detail that you can look at in a single panel,
Right.
Or on like a screen of a movie or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I can get that.
Yeah, exactly. So would you read it, Korea?
To be honest, yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to read the book too.
Yeah.
After this,
Yeah.
it sparked my interest.
Yeah, Becky.
I'm really on the fence. It depends what you guys tell me after you've read the second. But I guess so. I'm just not really as gung-ho as about the other ones.
Shayman?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it too. You mentioned the ending earlier, Dan did, but without like overanalyzing or put my finger on it, it's like this got me more excited to continue reading the next page that wasn't there, more than any other cheap cliffhanger. Most other cheap cliffhangers do at the end of first issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I will read the second one. Dan's coming back now. Dan, would you? 2 questions. Would you continue reading this book?
Yes.
And how was the bidet?
Oh, I didn't use the bidet. I
Oh.
was putting some of these electrodes on my butt.
Oh, even
That's what
better.
took me a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good choice, sir.
I've been
Good
having
choice.
yeah, that was a really solid suggestion. I've had a strained glute
There you go,
for a
buddy.
while, man. I got it turned up.
Crank
on
it
that
up.
side.
Is it working?
Oh yeah. Oh, this thing is great, man. I'm telling you guys. Health Mate Forever. $29 if you have muscle strains.
That was $29. Wow, that's
$29. That's it, boy. Shit. This thing. Woo. Don't turn it all the way up and then just touch the pad with your finger. That shit hurts. Fuck you up.
All right, let's move it on. And I'm gonna let's hit a little pause break because I want the theme song to be right. I don't care if this gets us kicked off YouTube. I want the theme song for it to be right here. So, in the next comic book we're doing, because when the movie opens, it's just a blank screen. And you just hear the
Yep.
fucking music, and it hits you with the title. So just right here will be the music right now. All right, that was cool.
Yeah.
Did anybody want to take this book?
I'm doing
We're gonna take like a
Belfry.
little break here. Or are we still
Greg?
recording?
Which book?
Yeah, we're still recording.
Yeah,
It's the last book of the episode.
Last book.
Which book?
Highlander.
Highlander.
Oh,
There can be only one.
I'll do Belfry because I never saw.
I'm
the TV
doing
show.
Belfry.
Okay.
You do Belfry? Okay, yeah, I'll do Highlander, I guess. Okay, so my confession though, I never really saw an episode of the TV show.
That's
and
fine.
from our pre-discussion, it sounds like
Piece of shit.
it's without stating opinions, piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. From what I gather, somebody had said, I forget who it was, that this Highlander comic, which is called Highlander: The American Dream, which is available on IDW.
Yeah, IDW.
Okay, that publisher, and written, inked, etc. by, let's get to it. Writer Brian Ruckley, artist Andrea Mutti, M-U-T-T-I, colors Vladimir Popov, letterer Chris Mowry, editor blah blah blah. Okay, anyway, Denton Day. Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, somebody was saying that this book is much like if Connor McLeod were in the TV show.
Yes.
So it has more of a vibe of the TV show, but Connor McLeod's the main character.
Yes.
And
It seems to take place before the movie,
Right before the movie. Yeah.
the first movie.
Before the first movie, correct. Yeah, because the guy he's talking to, the monk or whatever, is a person who is mentioned in the movie as having been killed like a few weeks prior to when the movie's taking place.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. When the police bring Connor in, they show him a picture of like one guy who was beheaded in the same way as one of the other immortals.
Yeah.
That's the guy he's talking to in this book.
okay.
Yeah. Which I think is fucking cool.
That is
is
cool.
That's
cool.
really cool.
That's
You've-
really
I know that you've seen the movie more recently than I have, so I'm glad that you told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought this was cool. I've always enjoyed the movie and the TV show. I thought this was like a good combination of the two because I've always we
Yeah.
were saying before, I've always liked Connor better. Like Duncan's cool, but like Connor, I thought it's Christopher Lambert. He has like a weird accent.
Yeah.
And he's just such a strange actor. Like he's I don't
Lots
know.
of different places.
yeah, yeah. Because his accent
That's
doesn't
really good, Greg.
Was it? Okay.
It's hard to do that accent because he's Belgian or something, right? Or no, he's somewhere that speaks French and
We looked this up once.
yeah, I forget where he's from, but
I'll look it up.
Okay.
yeah, but his accent's so weird that it does come off as somebody who might have been alive for like a really long time and has this strange.
In that way, he's perfectly cast. actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in fact, if we could go back and touch up anything about that movie, it's if they had given him like in flashback scenes when he was in the Highlands, just give him a straight up Scottish accent.
He does have it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Like
if you watch
more
the
so
movie,
than-
it's way more Scottish. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, shit.
Or his attempt at a more Scottish, like that. The director clearly was like, okay, now you have to do a Scottish accent because this is the past.
Okay.
He's like, okay, I'll try my best. Like it's not good. It's not a good accent, but he is certainly trying to do a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
That's the intention.
Whereas in modern day, it's like just be yourself.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, he sounds much more he sounds just like himself in modern day. And back when you watch the flashbacks, he does have a more Scottish accent. It's just like a rougher version of his own accent.
Yeah.
It's like him just dragging out R's and shit, like doing more guttural shit.
Wikipedia says he was born in New York, but his father was a French diplomat, and he was raised in Geneva from infancy and moved to Paris in his teens. So
he has a weird fucking accent.
yeah.
Yeah, he is from lots of different places.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
I do love Christopher Lambert.
Yeah, no, he's cool. I thought that this was overall good. Like, I'm pretty happy with the conflict that's in there. The monk that he meets up with in their flashback story. Rachel's in it. The one criticism, just in case I forget to mention it later, there's one panel that's drawn sort of goofily. It's early on when this monk, it's in the first couple of pages, and he visits the antique shop where Connor McLeod works or owns, and he's talking to Rachel, and it's in the third page. Rachel on the top right. It's like the perspective is weird because it's in profile, but she's kind of got a little Cyclops thing going on there. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Her
before.
eyes right above her mouth.
Yeah.
It's right above her nose. It's,
Yeah, she
it's,
does.
Someone can't draw in profile.
yeah, it's okay. who was the artist that you told me that wasn't able to draw feet?
Oh, fucking what's his name? Rob Liefeld. Liefeld can't draw feet for
can't
shit.
draw feet.
Yeah.
They're horrible.
weird.
Look them up.
So funny. So yeah, that's my. If that's the worst thing about this book, that was the one moment that took me out of the story, and I just laughed, and because it's early enough on. But yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's the conflict that arises halfway through and toward the end is a guy that's like blonde.
Confederate?
I guess Confederate. I don't know. He's something Civil War related. It takes place a few days after the Gettysburg battle. But it's one of the other Civil War soldiers that he has like now a rivalry with, and
He senses him as an immortal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's an immortal, and he's actually disobeying that holy ground rule,
Right.
which sheds doesn't really shed light. That was always kind of a murky rule for me anyway, because what's stopping them from doing battle on holy ground?
Exactly, and also
Yeah.
because you would think that if it's like considered not done, but they can physically do it. Like
Yeah.
the Kurgan definitely would have broken that rule if he could.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the Kurgan would not respect the holy ground rule, or maybe
You would
like
think so.
maybe
He wouldn't.
but maybe it's such a thing that like even the Kurgan's like, yeah, no, the holy ground thing's cool with me. Like
Does the monk refer to this guy as the Kurgan?
No,
no.
He
The
say
Kurgan, he mentions the Kurgan,
He
but
doesn't mention the
doesn't.
Kurgan, though.
The Kurgan's not in this book.
He says that out of the half dozen of us that are left, however many at that point that are left, like two of them definitely, like if either of these two guys win the prize, then the world will be plunged into darkness. One is
Yeah.
the Kurgan, who I think you've met, and the other one is this asshole.
Yeah, the blonde guy.
Asshole.
I forget his name.
I forget what they say.
It
Did they
looks
say his
like
name?
Jonah Hex, but not a scarred face.
Yeah, but I like that this sticks to the lore of the first movie, where it still maintains that there are only a few of them left.
I'm glad you clarified that for me earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was really cool. I like. But okay, if I hadn't seen Highlander, maybe I wouldn't like as much, or if I didn't like Highlander as much as I do. If you're not familiar with Highlander, you might not like this as much as we like it. But I mean,
I was going to say that. I am not a big fan of Highlander,
Right.
and I started reading this morning, and I just don't care about any of this.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
This is fan service, as we were discussing earlier.
Yes.
I asked Dan, I was like, is this fan service, or am I supposed to, like, I don't understand. And he said, no, they probably, like, they needed to put something out.
That's my guess, yeah.
Yeah.
To hold on to the rights, they have to put something out into publication. Otherwise, the rights would be open for anybody to come in. And,
Right.
And there are other comic book companies that do license characters and properties like this that would probably scoop it up if IDW didn't take advantage.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not bringing anybody new. That's a good point. Like my critique of the book is that if you like the movie, if you like the show, you'll like the book. But I never thought about it like if you
don't.
weren't familiar, because in my mind I just feel like everybody is seen it who's
Right.
familiar with the Highlander. But yeah, if you weren't, you'd just maybe be a little bit confused.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Oh,
of shit
very
at the
much so.
beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know, like all the way up, I'd say until almost like the last quarter of the book, where things start to be explained a little bit.
Right, because they don't explain most of the stuff that's just like put out in the movie like right after the title. Like Sean Connery just like gives you the whole thing. He's like,
Yeah.
There are immortals and they're all waiting for the gathering and blah blah all this stuff. Like they tell you that right at the beginning, and like I don't does it say that at the beginning.
They don't. No, not in this book. No.
They don't?
They talk about the contest or the game,
The gathering.
The Gathering.
But I didn't think they referred to it as the gathering.
Yeah.
They do.
Did they?
They do.
Okay.
But it's not.
They
yeah,
mentioned
they
Ramirez,
just-
too, right?
Yeah, he mentioned Ramirez.
They mentioned
You said you have Ramirez's sword.
Right. The one thing that's kind of funny that they referenced in here, I don't know what they never really explain, because I'm not that into wrestling, but apparently Connor McLeod is for whatever reason. Because he's even trying, like, whenever he meets back up with this monk in modern day New York, he's like,
Well,
go to
the
wrestling.
beginning of the first movie, he's at a wrestling match.
well, right, yeah, but like, why is he so interested in wrestling?
Because 80s wrestling was awesome.
I guess so.
Hulk
Like,
Hogan, Andre
like,
the Giant,
the-
Macho Man Randy Savage. Come on, man.
but this is
Jake
a guy,
the Snake.
Yeah, that shit was awesome.
I mean, I think it's awesome
Bulldog.
because But I think it's awesome because I'm 8 years old and I've never fought in Scottish battles. But this guy has lived for hundreds of years, and
He probably thinks it's even funnier then.
maybe that's
Like,
it.
look
Yeah.
at what these fucking guys are doing. Like, I used to see this for real.
Because when he meets back up with this monk, who this man has chopped off people's heads,
Yeah.
and he says this monk, and he's like, "Oh, you want to go get a drink or catch some wrestling?" And whenever you see him in the movie, he's at a wrestling match, and
I think that might have just been like a weak attempt to reference the beginning for the movie.
probably so.
But I don't find it.
But like,
weak.
I don't want to.
I find it wonderful.
But I don't
Yeah.
want to take myself out of it and think that it's like the author's work. I want to live myself in the story for a minute and think like, why is this like? I'm going to analyze it as though the character's into it. I keep getting this stuff. Or like whenever he first meets up with Brenda at the bar, and he's like, "I'm going to go to Madison Square Garden sometime, catch some wrestling." Oh, you're referencing a part of the movie that I just saw, right? Okay.
Or maybe he does have like a weird thing about wrestling.
Yeah,
that's a funnier explanation.
That's funny. I forgot about the wrestling in the movie. So whenever he was talking to him, I thought he was asking him like, "Do you want to have a drink? No. Do you want to wrestle with me? Like, no. Like,
That's weird.
that's the only two things I could think of that we could do together right now. Have a drink or have a wrestle.
Have a bit of a wrestle. Why would Connor McLeod really like wrestling?
I don't know. Maybe that's a thing because we mentioned Civil War before. Like that's part of the this thing. I mean, Abraham Lincoln's one of his favorite physical activity, wrestling.
Yeah,
That is the truth.
and boxing. He's a boxer as well.
He was a boxer.
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler.
He'd probably be a good
yeah.
boxer.
I knew that he was a wrestler. I didn't know that he was a boxer.
I didn't know that either, but I know that he was a wrestler. Not only he was a cocky ass wrestler too, like because Abraham Lincoln was known for being very reserved. And when it came to wrestling, he would like beat somebody's ass and then like rip his shirt off and be like, "Anyone else? Anyone else?"
That'd be
I
weird.
thought he had like
He-
his head was so heavy he could barely like he would kind of fall over. You know, like I just imagine him. He had this enormous head.
I think you're thinking of his hat.
No, man. He had like some disease that made your face long. Like he had some like it was like a legit disease.
I think
he
you're thinking
was-
of genetics.
I don't know. He was known for being a very formidable opponent. Like in
Well,
any
imagine
kind
his
Could you
reach.
imagine seeing
in-
that?
Exactly.
Like a
He's like,
boxing
yeah.
ring. Like,
Yeah.
he's so fucking tall.
she's
His
gonna
arms
be-
are probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
couldn't
this
get in on
corner,
him. Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. That'd be so fucking weird. If we can time travel, we're gonna go see
Oh,
that.
that's the first thing we're doing.
I
Is
would-
going to see
yeah.
Abraham Lincoln fight somebody.
You mentioned
Fuck yeah.
Macho
That's
Man
why-
stuff. That's
I wish we had
one
a-
wrestler that I would like to see in action.
Wish we had a fact checker. I want to Google the Abraham Lincoln disease. I'll Google Abraham Lincoln disease
for
during
next
break
time.
and come back. That motherfucker had a disease and made his head big. So he had long arms, but his disadvantage was that he had a bigger head target.
Yeah, but man, you're not even getting close to that head.
How are you getting in?
Yeah.
I think
that's
it's-
fair.
He's really tall. His arms are. Ooh, look out, man.
He's like Dalsim.
Yeah. He just stood all the
He's
way
like
across the
keeping you in
screen.
the corner from his corner.
I don't know if I don't know if it's the same thing because you're talking about like disease for the big head, but like if you're thinking like acromegaly, I know some like what Andre the Giant had or like any of those other big heads, but I don't know if it's like head specifically that it would. Grow.
Yeah, no, it affects the rest of their body too. He had a disease.
Okay.
Well,
Andre the Giant.
From
did,
now on, the move that Dalsim does, like the when you duck and you hit like a strong punch, where his arms go to the side and they go all the way across the screen, is now called the Abraham Lincoln. I'm gonna Abraham Lincoln the shit out of you, man. I'm gonna win this match with Abraham Lincoln.
The other thing, Chris, if the one slight, I didn't know that he was cocky, but I will say that if he were to say, like, apparently he had a high squeaky voice.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of being, anybody else?
Exactly.
Oh, Abraham Lincoln.
Anybody read the book where he kills vampires?
Yeah, Vampire Hunter.
That's a good book.
Yeah.
I read it. Saw the, actually,
the movie?
Yeah,
It's not bad, actually.
It's not a bad
it's not
adaptation.
bad.
Did I read the book? I
It's
did read
not
the book.
great.
Yeah.
The movie could have been better, but the book is great. I love the book.
It was fine.
I thought it
Yeah.
was great.
It was what it was.
It's fun.
Yeah. All right. So who will continue to read Highlander things? Chris?
So, I mean, I won't, but I mean, that's just because I don't like the Highlander mythos. So, I mean, if you aren't into it before, you're not going to be into it now. This is not for you. That's
Okay.
my take on it.
Fair.
I'm undecided. I might read it, as it comes in, or I might wait for a trade. I don't know. I love the cover though, the regular.
You have a cool cover.
Well, I have the variant,
Yeah.
but that's the Francisco Francavilla, and he's my favorite artist. Like that guy's just amazing.
Both covers are sweet.
Yeah, the variant's pretty cool too. It's like
Yeah.
a chrome sword.
Just the sword. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I'm undecided. I did enjoy the issue though. Like it was very nostalgic in terms of Highlander memories.
Yeah. Becky?
I'm undecided too. I feel almost exactly the way you do because I'm okay with the Highlander show. I'm not, it's not as nostalgic. It doesn't elicit the same nostalgic memories as other things do. But we'll see. We'll see what you guys say.
J-Man?
Yeah, it was cool. I like Highlander, and I like Connor.
Yeah.
That other Highlander bullshit.
I'm the same with you. I like Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's also, he's Lord Raiden, too.
Oh, yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
Greg?
Yeah, I liked it. I found nothing really to complain about in here, and if they're building any kind of an arc toward, especially like leading up to the movie, I like that it ties in. I actually didn't know that it was supposed to be the weeks preceding the first movie because they kind of like the Highlander. Each successive Highlander movie messes with the timeline anyway. I just assumed they were like, okay, he's back in New York, and there are other immortals now that he has to fight again. And but that's cool. Then I like that they're doing the prequel, so to speak. I dug it. Cool. I'll do it.
I won't, but I will rewatch the TV series and the first movie.
I do have the first movie. I just got on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm a Blu-ray player.
Well, that's your fault.
Maybe they have it on Netflix.
No.
No.
That's why
It's
I brought
on.
the
I think
Blu-ray.
it's on Amazon.
Oh, I have Prime, too.
Oh, okay.
I'll watch it on Prime. On my little
I think I have
TV.
to pay for it.
I'll pay $2.
I got the DVD, so.
I don't have a DVD player.
God damn it, Dan.
We'll make it work. Between all of us, we have.
We'll tape it.
We'll reenact it.
Wait, hold on. I was
what
just
do
at
you
your
have?
house earlier. Do you even have a TV?
No, that thing that looks like a computer monitor, that's my television.
You mean the computer monitor? Because
That's a computer monitor.
yeah,
Is it? No, that was a gift from Rob. He told me it was a TV.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He told me it was a TV. I don't fucking know, man. I haven't had a TV in years. That was my first
Yeah.
TV.
I haven't really looked closely at it, so I don't know if it's TV or
I'm pretty
It's got
sure.
an HDMI in.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
That doesn't make it either one of those things.
No.
That could be either.
It's also it's not even like in a place where like, oh yeah, let's all go over to Dan's house and watch this show or
It's not
movie.
a side table next to the couch.
haphazardly like strewn to the left of a.
Yeah, normally it's on the ground beside my couch. You can't even see it. And then you pull it out, you just set it right on that table. I'm the only one who fucking watches that thing. Like you said, people aren't coming over to my house to watch TV. My TV is like 12 inches. So, like, who's watching TV? Me. I put it on, and it's at the end of the couch, so I can lay on my back on the couch, and it's like where my feet are. That's all I need, baby.
All right, look, man. If you want to come, like my TV's 55 inches.
I know,
I
it's
forget what it
enormous.
is. Yeah, you can come over and watch Highlander anytime. That's fine.
right.
I mean,
I will,
even if I'm not there, just text Lace and be like, listen, I got to watch Highlander.
Yeah, I'll hang
She's
out
gonna leave
there,
the
Arrow.
front door
Yeah,
open.
I'll take Arrow for a walk. Thanks.
So I'm going to read this book because I like Highlander.
Yeah.
Can be only one.
Yeah. And there can be only one. I think that's enough
Unless
for
there's two.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough for this episode.
Oh, we've been going for a while.
2 hours.
So,
Yeah.
all right. You can find us. Thanks for listening. You can find us, grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Grown Up Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, @grownuphumans. Go down to Southside Comics, get your books there.
Yep.
Support MetaMesh, make a donation. Check out Midnight Rose. We might be playing soon, actually. We're definitely finishing an album.
Wait, did you say you might be playing soon?
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that.
We'll keep you
Oh, I'm
keep you hanging.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're gonna
I
see
like
some
your
fucking
guys'
leather
shows.
pants and shit.
Yeah.
We can check us out on Facebook too, Midnight Rose. Am I missing anything? Anybody?
Nope.
No. All right. We'll see you next time. See you next week. Peace up. A-Town down.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I was waiting for it. There we go. Now we can stop.
Grown up, human, comic, people! Grown up, human, comic, people!
Epicast.